with this first match, we'll go through picks and bans real quick.
All right, so we got
And
Silverthorn
AndiVx.
versus.
I don't know. We just want to say Andy
Just Andy.
Yeah, Andy. Yeah.
and Silverthorn. That's actually a pretty awesome name. I think I put them pretty high up just because of how nice that name was in my predictions. So
In your
hopefully,
in.
that those will bear out and be correct. Just bet cool names just win more often. All right. Anyway, let's go picks and bans. The first ban out of Andy. Oh, balcony. Sad.
Wardar cries in the distance.
Yep. Oh, and the next ban, a few other people will be crying. Veranda. All right.
Interesting ban.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I guess if, well, I mean, it looks actually it is kind of interesting seeing these other picks. The first pick out of Andy is Modern, and then the next pick, or the first pick from Silverthorn is Library. So
The other
Like
two
in
5 of 8 maps that we have
yep,
like in
available.
the
yep,
5 of 8 maps, except for Veranda.
yep,
We like 5 of 8 except for this one.
yeah. Well, I would say I'm generally more comfortable on Library than Veranda myself. Like
Yeah, I think that applies to a lot of people, just
like if
because the unseen portions of the venue can be swept over quickly.
yeah.
Unlike on Veranda, where you have to kind of
Mm-hmm.
rotate slowly over.
Yep. The next pick. Ooh, if we get this far, we will be seeing some aquarium
Ooh,
Sharks.
sharks. Yep,
all the sharks.
everybody loves sharks, except the people that get eaten by them. Anyway, the final pick shall be Terrace.
Solid.
Yeah, solid. Yep, that's a map we don't see very often in SEL.
Yeah, I think it might be actually the least picked venue. Maybe going up against Tayan for that.
It's
Yep.
Terrace.
Yep.
It's Terrace.
It's Terrace. But yeah, it is Terrace. Anyway, we shall get into it here. We got Modern to start. Let's get that up and let's get
Yeah,
us.
I'm showing a salmon danger about middle of the room.
Nope, not Salmon Danger.
I'm
Switch to
saying,
Spy Cam.
well, wait, transition.
Oh, not salmon danger.
I'm
Oh
I see
no,
boots.
it's boots.
Yeah,
It's Bungie
yeah,
right
Ah,
behind them.
yeah. You gotta look at the portraits on the bottom. The spy is always the far left one at the start.
Yeah, no, I can see why you would make that mistake on Sniper
Yeah,
Cam. It looks like it's Salmon.
yeah. It does
this
look like
is
it's
this is
him.
how you end up low lighting people. Is you're definitely the double agent. There's a yellow arrow above your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, yep. It is in fact
Let's try that
boots.
again. So boots, modern, by the back conversation, and if you're ready, guys.
I am ready.
Yep.
Go for it.
Fantastic. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. So we got Andy here versus Silverthorn. Silverthorn's a bit more well known for me. I know he did the placements and then ended up
Yeah.
being placed into Obsidian versus the Andy who nobody had much idea about, at least at the beginning of the season. We got a green time ad to start here. But Opie, do you know anything about Andy?
Um, I've seen them talk on the Discord a bit. I don't know much about their play, however. So we're gonna have to start evaluating a little bit. Figure out what kind of player Andy is through this set.
I
Andy has
know.
good cover here. Could go for a microphone, but Silverthorn might be watching it. That laser is looking very closely.
I think the laser chose the angle to mark the book and then not necessarily watching it after that. But Andy decides to just take the book out. I know with Silverthorn, during the placements, they didn't perform necessarily as well. They would have wanted to. They couldn't have done too much worse, honestly. But they've very much improved over time. Now, when you're talking about the low game counts that we see in Obsidian, that's any gameplay in SCL is going to make you improve. Andy returning the book here, just the same bookcase.
Yeah, being very very nice about it. Being very AI-like.
He's
Usually when you
getting
take out
launched
a
for
book
it
like
too.
this,
If only because Irish is here. Yeah. Um. This is low light baiting play, but I'm not sure if Silverthorn's going to necessarily reward it. He hasn't low lit anybody except for Duke at this moment.
I mean, we do have time. We have spent our extra 45 seconds at this point, and some. but the early time map definitely helps out the fact that we just spent a long time low light baiting and unfortunately did not get it. However, even if you don't pick up the low light in actuality, when not drawing the attention of the
Oof.
sniper, that's a failed bug and might be a shot. Yeah, Silverthorn's all
Silverthorn
over
taking
it.
the time there to not shoot the ambassador. And we get a fantastic clip there of Sam in danger panicking. But yeah, just the bug didn't stick, by the way. It was a transition between walking and standing, and mechanically it just didn't land, but very much seen.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive catch though, because if watching on the replay, like Silver was zoomed in to the right and just really just sort of caught the tail end of the bug animation.
Well, that's a start.
Yeah, I mean that's
1-0
what. Yeah.
Silver.
Yeah, and Silverthorn in Obsidian so far has been doing pretty good. Let's get into the next game actually before I say anything about that.
Yeah, let's
Let's
move
just
on
begin.
in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
There's always time to talk during the early moments in a game. Anyway, Silverthorn's been doing okay in Obsidian. 1 loss, 1 win, and 2 draws up until this point. So not terrible, but definitely not where you might want to be. You obviously want to win every match you got if you can.
Yeah,
But
as a reminder for people who aren't necessarily aware of the postseason, and especially in these divisions anywhere from Oak up to Silver, you want to be in the top 2 because those are the people who get to participate in the postseason, which I believe is called the Tournament of Placement.
yes, placement and possibly top 3 if the number 1 seed decides to just go for the single division increase guaranteed.
Yeah, as a general rule, if you play the best SpyParty you can, that's gonna give you the best opportunities and make you feel good, even if you're not necessarily winning your division. If you're playing well, you're putting yourself in a position to learn, get better, and there's multiple reasons
And
why
either
one
way,
would play SCL.
yeah.
Being able to play some SpyParty being taken seriously is lovely. We got our BB off. It looks like a pretty good BB.
Yeah, not many lights taken. So far, we're still holding on to this book, which means that I think after holding on to it this long, Silverthorn is definitely going to be looking to put it back in the wrong bookshelf and get that mission done. Which obviously is an opportunity for Andy here to catch Silverthorn out and shoot him for it.
Yeah, I can't
Um,
imagine there's much hint for Silverthorn if he knows that the book is being tracked or not, because Andy does not mark books, and he's not put the laser over Silverthorn.
Yeah, and Andy here really looking to pick up, some kind of points. Has not won a match yet before this, before this one this season. So Andy trying to get themselves on the board aside from forfeits.
We're aiming
Uh,
towards the green here.
yeah, and I don't know if Andy's gonna be on this. We're even behind a pillar. We're not being watched at all.
Yeah, the sniper angle is absolutely wrong for this. The lean forward to puts us in briefly, but we're Irish on green bookcase. It's about as much cover as you can expect. That bug is insane.
That bug is really cool. However, it's definitely very visible on the sniper cam, but the thing about those bugs that are technically visible on the sniper cam, um, but you don't expect the hand to be reaching out where the hand is reaching out. So I like, for example, I see the bug go off in the bottom bar here and look for it from the sniper cam, and I can see it. But that's actually something that's really difficult to look for while you're playing, and Silverthorn gets the bug completely clean.
Yeah, I was gonna mention here when we were standing in that conversation that we were needing to do something. We've definitely done something with bug done, microfilm done, and we got a flirt in there intermittently. All we need to do is one more mission. Purloin, definitely an option here. We have to delegate.
Oh, General's a low light now, by the way. Has to
Yeah,
be.
that bounce was nutty. Okay. Good decision here not to force ourselves into the conversation. We just need to get in immediate talk
Yeah, and
and
we just
immediate
we just send
out.
Alice off to go grab our guest list. Our mission win is pending, and I honestly don't think that Andy really has a real chance of shooting Silverthorn for this, because even if you're all over it, um, this still could be like you only have 10 seconds to really figure it out, and even then, it's
Yeah,
just gonna be the end of it.
there's not that much incentive to shoot, right? Because there's no fingerprints done, there's no inspects done by anybody, and the statues are still intact. So you're having to assume that you missed bug and microfilm.
Yeah, and a microfilm, because there's just nothing done by these two characters.
And generally, if you see bug or microfilm, you shoot the person. So, good game from Silverthorn. That's a classic modern.
Yeah, very
Uh,
very well paced. Had about 30 seconds left as the mission wins were completed. And that's kind of what you want to see. Didn't even need a timeout on it. And so that was very, very strong play from Silverthorn here going into the second half of Modern.
okay, and now we got Tex and 3, 2, 1, playing it. Drink in hand, so things like cheese here from the bookcase are going to be a bit longer than we'd like. Looks like we're going to push it anyways.
Going to bookcase on Modern very early is one of the better things I feel like you can do with your time. It seems a little bit counterintuitive because it's not hard to track as the sniper. You usually don't have much cover for that kind of thing. They know you're going to go there, or that they know that you can have gone there, right? But there are just so many things to watch early on in Modern. However, Silverthorn seems to have really been, careful about bookshelves here. Marked the books of both visitors early on. Um, the thing is, it's really interesting because it's
Let
especially
me.
early on in Modern. There's a lot to split your attention between potentially.
Mhm.
This beat comes off, by the way.
Yeah. So
So
this BB, by the way, there's only 2 conversations that have people, and ours was the only one that had a double agent. If Silverthorn wants to, you can mark the 3 people who have real BBs, and it's only us, Wheels, and Seek.
yeah, which is pretty unfortunate. Definitely could have waited for a better contact. We're still pretty early on in the game, but it might have broken Silverthorn's concentration enough that they now do not remember where we got our book from. And bookmarking is hard to see when you're staring straight on at the bookshelves. You have to rotate all the way over to the right.
Yeah, it's
So
a
go to
thing
the 3.
that with bookmarking where there's been discussions about if it's even good or not because it takes a lot of time and it can be quite finicky to even just hit the book with the light. And the main reason I don't end up doing it much is because all the bookcases on maps that care about books are back facing. You as the spy enters the bookcase, you cannot see the book on library, on modern, on uh, some of the veranda bookcases, on gallery. Uh, the only map that I can think of that doesn't have back-facing
Wow.
bookcases is Aquarium. This
This
is a
is.
choice.
I mean, it's actually
Laser's
just a.
on us.
This is actually insane. We just green microfilm at the bookshelf and it's completely blocked by Disney. So there's no indication. However, Silverthorn seems to be staring at us a little bit. Not sure if
From
they
Andy's
remembered where our book
perspective,
was
the
from.
laser was sitting on him as he took the bookcase, and the laser was sitting on him as he took the drink. I have a feeling from his side he's sweating.
Yeah, and I'm not okay, so Silverthorn did not seem to like us returning that book, so I think we could have actually just gone to a green bookshelf and been completely fine.
Okay, delegate comes off. We're bailing out.
Yeah, Sniper is completely zoomed in on the ambassador right now, really worried about Disney um, bugging here. So we don't seem to be that big of a suspect, but we do need to get moving. We're kind of running down on time, or we can just time that here, it looks like.
Good man, match my heart. Some lowlights coming off here for the Purloin. Purloin was seen. Timeout, I think, was covered by the Purloin. But
That's a
the
very
problem
fast
is,
statue pickup. We're gonna get a highlight for it. It's a fingerprintable statue, but we still need to find another one.
yeah, we're one of 3 suspects, and no, 2 suspects.
For
For highlights, and then ambassadors another
highlights
highlight.
and non lowlights are for. That's a
Interestingly,
swap and an animation break, and we're
yeah,
just dead.
Yeah, it's hard to get a swap away when there's only 4 people who are not low lit,
They just did like
it's not your last mission.
all the statue actions. Just like must do all statue actions.
Yeah, and I think clearly what we're seeing here from Andy is a little bit of um, trying to figure out how to pace correctly on Modern, how to time add this game, and still would have come a little bit down to the wire. We got a blue microphone in pocket, but we still went for a swap, which would require one more inspect and a flirt just to finish the game.
Mhm.
So, like, there's a lot of progress here, and the game plan does not seem to be all that streamlined.
Yeah, exactly. That being said, Silverthorn on the Purloin. Felt like he might have even been on the microphone and on the swap. Good sniping on his part. Don't want to take any credit away from him. And we'll start here the last game of Modern in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We got Red Dress.
Yep.
And are we going to go for the double dip? Get our flirt on? Nope, we're just going to do the same statue. Cheekier flirt here. And 34%. And a
we
highlight.
picked up the highlight for it. That's interesting.
It's a meta highlight at this point. So that is a break of etiquette. Like, you cannot stand there long enough to flirt, or if you can, it's the very like tail end of the length that you're allowed to stand behind someone before walking away. That being said, this has been absolutely like overused as a mechanic, and if you're just highlighting 4 people trying to be this cheeky, you're gonna catch spies most of the time at this point. People have been doing
Yeah.
this as like their favorite tech recently.
And as with some newer players, Andy might prove to be someone you really don't want to pick up a highlight against, because once you're a highlight, it can be really hard to shake sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think Andy's done much lowlights, at least in the first game, and so getting rid of a highlight, which is already hard against anybody, is particularly hard against someone who is only using highlights and neutral lights. And while
Not
Andy
even
might
using.
not be necessarily on things, catching a bug when someone's a highlight is so much easier than a neutral light.
Yeah, and just to point out how little we're using low lights here, we're not even low lighting double agents.
Yeah, the minty rug strategy.
God.
Okay,
T-Rug tilts me with
we
that.
are
Okay.
delegating to
That's a
Papa.
bug.
That's a nice bug.
I think that was seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 100% seen, and Andy takes the shot, takes a game on this modern set. So 3-1, not the worst. It's definitely something you can come back from as Andy.
Yeah, I think the big lesson here from Silverthorn is do not get highlight early. This means don't be doing things that are going to be don't do exactly the same flirt. But also, I would just suggest not doing early inspects and eating that early highlight either,
Right.
because this game went so much a bug about as good as last time, but this time we're highlight and we get shot for it immediately. And we're on
So
library, by the way.
yeah, library, another 5 of 8 menu. It's 5 of 8 tend to be pretty popular in general.
Library is the most popular map. It since it became new art, it's trumped Courtyard, which used to be the most popular map. And we got Twin here. We got a huge pile of people, but Twin in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Bug. No bug
Early bug
takes,
attempt, and we might just get shot for it, but no, we pick up the highlight,
which
so
is a sensible thing to do.
we're not
So
dead.
yeah. So the problem with this highlight is you now have to do 5 missions through a highlight. However, we're not dead. It's a sensible thing to do because phantoming bugs is really easy to do, and you don't want to just blow your load there and then immediately find out, oh, I could have just watched them go to mid statues immediately.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Silverthorn's not even waiting.
Was that a
That was a
shot?
3 cycle.
Yep.
Exactly. So he doesn't need to shoot for the bug immediately. He can shoot for the 3 cycle. 30
Yeah,
seconds
the
later.
3 cycle is 100% a hard tell. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Let's get started on the next game, and we'll talk about animations in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
There are no replays ever of having a 3 cycle happen by an AI. So
Yeah, but it's totally happened, I promise.
people have claimed.
Silverthorn's pinched a book real quick.
And White Time Ad might be looking to So this is kind of a rushy play, relatively speaking. But then we time ad, and the thing is with time ads is you usually expect the person to have who's time adding to play slowly because they do have that extra time. But if we just take that time ad and run with it, I think that it can be very counterintuitive. And we're just leaving this conversation. We don't care about this conversation anymore. We want out.
Andy's on the sniper side has taken some highlights and some lowlights, and all the highlights were people at Windows. I think he thought that he caught the time ad, but he was a bit late. He didn't catch Silverthorn, and the people who were at Windows may not have been eligible to do time ad. The problem with trying to catch a time ad if you miss it is most spies run away from Windows as soon as they do the time ad because they do not want to be seen at window and avoid that highlight.
Yeah, and we do get a couple of lowlights off is like actually important. That fact. And
Banana
none of
bread
them
seems
are
to
incorrect
surprise
lowlights.
Andy here. There's not lowlights coming off for the banana bread, which on library can be hard because you only can see half the screen. But getting no
Yeah,
lowlights at all is rough. He instead is popping out here and just going with the assume real on the left conversation. Keeps him in the game here.
yeah, and part of not getting lowlights off that contact is really unfortunate. Is Queen was out during that, and she was a highlight for Time Ad, and now she's gone to center statues. So there's a big suspect that could not have done contact and did not get lowlight for it.
Microfilm's done, or 2.5 missions. It'd be nice to be able to get a big 51 flirt and just get it to 3 immediately. What would you like here closing out this game?
Well, obviously we want to get that flirt done. It's just the simplest thing. But
I'll ask it this
inspect
way:
swap
do,
is
do, do you think middle statues or do you think side statues? If we're gonna do inspects, because
depends on how suspicious we think we are.
I think the answer is that's rough.
That's a red flirt.
Yeah, I think the answer is you're meant to do side statues, and that way you're not trying to do inspect swap at just middle statues. If we had hit this flirt, maybe a inspect swap at middle statues would have been the right play just to get the rush. Instead, we're requesting a drink.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna purloin here. No,
Nah,
waste reject. Not purloin reject.
I do like the speculation though, just requesting the drink and then seeing where the laser is.
I think he was just trying to talk there. Because if you notice, like Toby had just offered him a drink and then walked away, then he requested a drink.
Oh, he says in chat it's a flub.
Yeah, okay.
Making us look silly. How dare you do extra things that are not necessary. We're chosen to go to this middle statue. I think
This is
mainly
gonna
because
be a 3 cycle.
General was here. Yeah, he knows not to 3 cycle. He just shot for it.
He's just gonna
He's gonna do the cheeky.
step
This is
on
cheeky.
over.
Highlight him for this, Andy. Don't let him do this to you. He's doing the cheeky statue to another statue immediately sidestep, which AI do. Don't get me wrong here, but it's something that deserves a highlight if you're not already highlighting for statues.
Yeah.
Andy's laser is cooking Silverthorn right now. You can just feel it at the back of his head.
And even though Silverthorn's in the highlight, I think he's got to assume I'm a big suspect right now, just because of how that laser's been moving around at the party recently. The ambassador, all the other on the other side of the party, being left completely unguarded for extended periods of time.
I'm amazed that we're not a highlight. Andy seems to be using his highlights for something, but we're getting cooked. That's a nice wrong arm with the cane too.
Well, as I was saying, the ambassador's being left unguarded. We do pick up that bug, and
Whoa,
he
that's
didn't
such
talk
a
in this
choice.
conversation. It's going to kill us.
That's such a choice. Good shot by Andy. Shooting for flirt is so hard, but Silverthorn, you had 35 seconds, buddy. Going with the real cheeky talk too soon, and he's been shooting you for cheeky things. Where does that put us score-wise? Andy
3-2.
Wait, or it shouldn't be
Silverthorn.
4-2. Well, I mean, I have 4-2.
We
Is it
played 2
4-2?
library games.
Oh,
Yep.
it's already been 2
Yep.
library games. My bad. Yep,
Yep.
4-2.
Yeah, Silverthorn needs to be learning this lesson. He's ahead in the game, and I think he's uh, arguably been playing the better game so far. But he's getting shot for doing things that are rude, and
Yeah.
so he can calm it down, spend another 10 seconds, and if the seduction target runs away, the only place that you can really get doomed is if they go to briefcase.
Yep. And I just checked the
Otherwise,
replay, and the bug was completely off the sniper cam. So.
and it was a really good bug
And
either
yeah, it
way.
was good, even if it wasn't. Let's see how it would have looked. If he was looking. Where's that button? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that was pretty good. Even if the sniper was looking.
All right, so we got Andy as
Oh, that bug
spy.
is wrong arm cane bugs are nasty. I haven't gotten over the change.
Yeah.
And
Teal spy, Andy.
mom spy and Andy in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Does she not look like your mother? Does your mother
No.
not look like an Asian businesswoman?
No.
Neither does mine, but it doesn't change the fact that her name is Mom. 3 at statues. It's not an actual thing, but he might have just not been able to see any of those statues. If he just wasn't able to memorize, then we have 3 potential swap suspects.
Yeah, that's absolutely brutal.
At best, he did see the statues, and he still has 3 highlights immediately. So no matter what the scenario, it's never brilliant for Silverthorn. And he, I think, has started every game by taking a book out.
Yeah, there might be a pattern here that Silverthorn could start to abuse. Oh God,
This is a choice.
this is, and it's not
Yeah,
seen.
Silverthorn's busy low-lighting Queen. Despite the fact he's doing the microphone right in front of him, it's one of those, it's so bad, it might be good.
It's like, who would do it right there in front of my face where I could easily see it?
Okay, let's see.
So yeah, Andy picks up that first part of the microfilm, being a little bit bad on etiquette, but Silverthorn doesn't seem to care, so we're gonna get a highlight for statues here. When we want to do one more microfilm transfer animation, I'm not sure I like picking up this highlight.
Andy making a sensible choice here, getting the flirt. Let's see if we can green it. I think he's been hitting mainly white test this set. Red test,
Well,
yeah, worse than that.
sorry, caster curse?
Yeah, yeah. No bug, though we're gonna go make it look like we did a bug, because we're gonna stand right next to him.
We get a fingerprint off this though.
Yeah, this should be a fingerprint. And we're doing another white microfilm, middle of the
It's
map.
completely unseen because
I think Andy's found a thing. So doing microfilms at
oh
green
God,
bookcase.
that's it. So clearly Andy wanted to pick up this briefcase, but action priorities got him, and went back straight back to books and puts it back way too fast.
I mean, it's one cycle. You can do that on the read.
Not. I don't believe so. One cycle, you can't put it back. You have to take it away.
Oh, you can take it away. Yeah, this is why I'm not an etiquette sniper. I just make decisions that are etiquette. So, that being said, he did it quite smoothly with the take out and put back book. He didn't panic and make a real mess of it. We get 34%. I don't think Andy's hit a green test. What I was trying to say though was the microfilms at the middle of the map, be it at the green bookcase or in front of the green bookcase, can get missed just because the sniper's almost always going from left side of the map to the right side of the map, and the middle of the
Or
map
vice
isn't
versa.
necessarily got much interesting things going on. There's no statues, particularly.
Oh
Ooh,
my
this
God! We just
is
get shot for the second inspect. That's really aggressive. I feel like unless we were a suspect, unless we were a big suspect for a lot of the other things that happened during this game, like the microfilm.
Yeah,
We
that
didn't like the
second
fact
book
that we have
nonsense
bugs.
might be what got him. Silverthorn
yeah.
was watching when that happened.
I mean the camping idea, right? Is I haven't heard banana bread. The statues are all the same, and the purloin, the list is still there.
I would have had
For
to
me
miss
to have lost this game, I need him to have done Bug. I need to have done another fingerprint. I need to have finished Flirt, and this needs to be his other statue and microfilm. He did do microfilm. This would have been his second statue, but you're just assuming that you've missed a lot otherwise. That being said, it's a spy, and it doesn't really matter because they had a gray hair above their head.
Yeah, and now it's 5-2 to Silverthorn, taking a commanding lead of this set, trying to see if they can like guarantee themselves at least a draw by taking this spy game on Library, the last one on Library.
Yeah, the good
3.
news is we do still get to see some aquarium, but we'll start this up in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I wanted to do it. I never done it before.
Okay, next time.
I was trying to like do that big lead up into it.
Oh
But,
yeah, no, I heard you do it. I'm not gonna respect you like that. That'd be against my reputation. I can't have that.
yeah, Pone doesn't respect anybody. Like what?
Yeah, how can you respect anybody when you don't respect yourself? We haven't done anything, by the way. We're requesting a drink though, and then bailing out, deciding that was a questionable idea in the first place. Either that, or Silverthorn really likes pressing buttons and just requests Toby a lot, which, to be fair, might be a thing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
after you
Silverthorn-
talk, it automatically goes to request a drink, and so.
This might be a bug if Ambassador helps us out.
So I think Silverthorn just likes pressing buttons.
He's trying for it.
Bug, and it fails, but it's very, very hard to see, so it doesn't look like we're gonna get shot for it or even, up suspicion for it. So there's no cost to trying that bug here.
Yeah, I know in some divisions against some players, wrong arm bugs are something that they are watching more than anything. Against Andy, I think it's something that's worth trying every time.
Yeah.
We continue to see seduction targets run away from us. A couple of them have been red test, a couple of them have just been unlucky timing. But the sunshine is real. We're referencing Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers. As always.
We do pick up our first flirt, only 20% across the conversation, unfortunately. By the way, I'd like to point out that Andy's sniper position, even though it's not technically bad, tilts me because it's just super low, and I can't handle that. It's nothing to. It's like this is my own preference.
The Lodar angle.
The Wodar angle.
No, the Lodar angle.
Oh gosh, even better. We got a pun to go along with it.
Whee! Let's take that book out. Let's go. Not
And
seen.
yeah, no, we are completely.
Oh, we slamming this in. Oh, we're going full cheese.
Yeah,
this
no.
Is, some American
Silverthorn
cheddar.
has completely has read the fact that Andy is not rotating at all, and just it's a completely free mission, not seen at either shelf.
Yeah, I mean etiquette doesn't matter if you're not.
Oh, that was gross.
Silverthorn doing his best ballerina impression. It's hard to read Andy's laser. I don't think he necessarily highlights for everything. Even if he saw it or was suspicious of it. I'm not sure if we know what he's thinking. I think Silverthorn is probably going to be much more hesitant to finish, though.
I think we're doing our best to praise you, Silverthorn. What are you doing with all this dancing?
Yeah, and despite the fact that Silverthorn got this completely free mission done, we're still actually only on one mission done. So there's only a minute 20 left, and we need to finish 4 more missions before this game ends.
Yeah, so Inspect Swap is 2. Banana Bread's 1, and then we just gotta get this flirt done. Easy. We need to flirt before Wheels decides to bail out after this drink take. Wheels doesn't bail, and we get the 54%. This is behind the pole. This is a good start. We are spinning away from everything today.
Silverthorn just not on it. We're gonna gulp this drink and look at Toby, and Andy sees that the purloin is gone now.
I don't think. Yeah, the timer just expires as we walk in. We do hit a big green. We've been looking for those all set.
Yeah, and
eyeing down this ambassador. We can take a bug path if we want it.
We're also eyeing down those contacts, perhaps. We're gonna looks like we're gonna add time here.
Right as the beeping would have started. Andy's flashing around looking for people, but nobody's at windows when he does his look around. I'm not sure he's particularly conscious of the back window. Silverthorn, time has spent the last 20 seconds not doing anything.
Looking to probably go check out that double agent conversation, then go to a statue.
Bug into double agent would also be an option. They're both that direction.
But it's kind of being stared at, and it's
Going
not
for a
particularly.
walking bug.
Oh, this bug
That's
take, and it's
six?
actually really good.
Oh,
Oh, we
that's
just leave.
not how
We
windows work, but okay.
we just leave this window immediately though, and it's not punished at all. That bug was really good.
Yeah, I was questioning if it was going to take because it was very much in the tail end of the time that it could take. Okay,
Oh, the
safety
shot's
off,
about to
but
come off on. Yep, there it is. And we were about to contact for the victory, but the shot comes off anyways. I don't think that Andy had any more recourse in that game, especially after that shot came off.
yeah, this bug though. So the decision to make this bug, I think, is almost more impressive than the bug itself. Because what I would have considered the standard play for most people would be, oh, the ambassador's at Windows. I'm just going to bug him at Windows. Silverthorn goes for much more technical and potentially risky because it's a harder to stick bug with this walking bug and pulls it off. This is a good bug against anyone. This is going to be a bug that the sort of bug that I'm like scoping out as an option to beat someone like Kaylee.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
was a very impressive bug, very impressive decision making from Silverthorn. A miss shot does come off, but
Yep.
4 missions done without being a suspect at all is very impressive. And now we're on to Aquarium, with Silverthorn at 6-2, trying to just wrap up this set. In
Dun,
3, 2, 1, playing it.
Top Shark. So canon-wise, Top Shark and Bottom Shark are two different sharks, right?
Obviously.
They're twins, just like the two twins wearing blue. We have two blue sharks.
Well, I was thinking it was more left shark and right shark.
What Super Bowl was that? That must be like so old at this point.
It's pretty old at this point. It's a good few years old.
Okay, let's get this started. Big flirt, hit green. And no big flirt, just 34%. It's a good start though. Just 2 more of those and we'll be there. With Aquarium, it's always interesting because everybody that we see play Aquarium, it's going to be their first or maybe second time playing it competitively. And the choices that people make anytime I see someone do a microfilm, for example, I'm like, that is very much a decision that you're going and saying, I'm doing microfilm despite the fact that every other mission seems to be more powerful on paper.
See, Microcom is such an interesting mission to me because of that fact, right?
I mean, that's always
Microcom
been
on
the
this
case, but
venue,
it's like even more so on Aquarium.
yeah, I mean, Microcom on this venue is strange. Like it's much better than on other venues, but it's still weaker than most of the like missions on Aquarium itself, right?
Yeah, so the power of swap on this map is the other thing that I think is worth mentioning because those back statues are so powerful because it's already hard to see, and then you can get additional blockage from the shark. Silverthorn not appreciative of Little Man or Irish at this bookcase,
Yeah, and
but I think he's watching
interestingly,
Little Man more than Andy. I think Andy's just in the collateral.
yeah, what's really interesting about Silverthorn's attention as I've been, as we've been watching this a little bit. Oh, pick up a low
Huh.
light. Interesting. I'm not sure what for right now,
It's
but
simply just reading a book in front of the uh, in the front of everything.
yeah.
Now, I think the low light would have
Oh,
made
uh-oh.
a bit more sense to do it at this point when he returns the book back. Going, well, he's walked this book around and really looks like an AI. He's missed the microfilm, which Andy's gone with the take the book out and do the microfilm on the return twice now.
Yeah.
We're surprisingly low on time. This game's gotten away from us. Only 80 seconds left.
Something I'd like to point out is like Silverthorn's attention has been very concentrated on books a lot in this set. And if Andy has been watching replays, I think, or even just feeling the laser in their spy games because they've been at books a lot this set. This might be a kind of a study thing. Maybe Silverthorn looking. Oh,
What did he do?
I'm not sure.
I mean, my
But-
only guess is that it was suspected Purloin.
Yeah, and
I think just not tracking it.
Purloin
enough.
didn't come off though.
So Seek got shot for the last talk, but he was also right next to the ambassador for a long time.
Okay, yeah, the Purloin didn't even happen yet. All right,
yeah.
that's definitely not a thing.
Yeah, and so this might be a kind of. So as I was mentioning, we can move on to the next game, by the way.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out why he shot Seek.
Yep.
So Seek did one statue. He stood next to the ambassador, and he did end up talking at the end. But the whole narrative doesn't add up to 4 missions. Even with like Shark being added in as a bit of mystery. Moving on here though, it's 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so Silverthorn Sniper might be a little bit looking at books more because they know Andy likes to go to books a lot.
If
But
they've been watching the
Andy-
replays, that's
Yeah.
got to be the take you take, right?
Yeah, you've gotta, as Andy, think, okay, I should stay away from books because there's a lot of attention's being spent there, and I can abuse that.
I mean, I think that's the one thing that Andy's been generally getting away with, right? He's been doing these microfilms. It's taking up a lot of time because he's taking the book out consistently and not putting it back in a wrong bookcase. But it hasn't necessarily got him shot for doing the animation tests. Silverthorn has a bug if he wants it.
Yeah,
Shark
the
and
ambassador
Optimus.
comes right up to us, and it's a
That
bug.
timing was really good. So we don't have the correct shark. We had bottom shark when you want middle shark for these sort of bugs, but he times it right as the fin, the top fin specifically, goes by, and gets a bit more
Dorsal
cover than
fin,
he
we
really
call
deserves.
this.
Dorsal fin. We need to learn shark anatomy as the
Top fin.
top fin.
I
Dude,
mean,
top
it's
fin
just like
sounds
top.
like a it sounds like a Top Gun character. You got Iceman and top fin.
All right. So we
Okay.
got the bug down. We got 2 minutes 35 seconds left, and we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do from here.
Well, I think we flirt first because Seduction Target loves us more than we love him. We love him 82% of our 100% potential to love.
Yep, and
I think going and lining up a BB makes sense here. Just going to that conversation, or if Seek's not going to that conversation, he's going to go return a book.
he's definitely not going to that conversation. There's an SD in it.
Exactly.
But we don't know that.
We being Silverthorn and Team Spy, because I love that the casters always are Team Spy. We always have these conversations about like what makes this game fun, and supporting the spy is definitely the best way to spectate.
Yeah. Also, pwned. That's the topic of my next article. Shut up.
Perfect. We've already got bug. Go away, ambassador. We don't need you.
Yeah. Master just
We
walks
still have
by
this
us.
book.
No one was ever gonna take that bug. And we do have this book. I think at this point we've been holding it for so long. There's no way we don't put this in the wrong bookshelf.
Yeah,
And here
so
we
I think
go.
he's waiting for the shark. So shark's gonna be bottom shark. We stuff it in here right during the bottom shark. We didn't get full cover necessarily, but Silverthorn definitely playing around the shark and making a sensible decision. I'm surprised he's not taking this flirt.
This is too far away to flirt. I don't.
Well, no,
So-
even if you're doing a max range flirt, we're at 82%. A 17% flirt is something that we
is
specifically want to avoid.
we're going to get into Toba percents.
Yeah, no, so I'm just surprised he didn't take this flirt. He's showing a lot of respect to Andy, where I don't think Andy's necessarily shown that it's warranted that he's going to be shooting for this particular flirt. When he shot him for flirt in one of the earlier games, I think Andy's gone into his head a bit.
Yeah. And Silverthorn gonna finish this flirt off. Now we just need the contact
Or Purloin.
Purloin, apparently.
He's Purloined it to a highlight.
That's good.
Late in the game, we have the double agent as a backup, but yeah, Taft's getting shot for the intent to Purloin, let alone the actual list being taken.
Yeah, and that means the set is over. Silverthorn takes it 7-2.
I do like the decisions that were being made. I think that having a player who's leaning on microfilm more than anything is interesting, at least as a caster. It's just a lot cleaner play from Silverthorn and some really nasty bugs. Just getting those bugs off. The walking bug and the wrong arm bug on Modern are the sort of bugs that are going to be hard for anybody to catch because they're just not expected at